Hello everyone, my name is Zach. I am the Traveling Man and I come to you today from Port Everglades, Florida, where I've just embarked Celebrity Reflection, where I'm about to head out on a 3-night cruise on board this great ship. My second time selling Celebrity Reflection and my first time selling a 3-night cruise with Celebrity, something new they're trying out. And I'm gonna ask the question, is this Celebrity's booze cruise? Well, we're gonna find out. So come on if you're ready. Let's get this adventure started. So the time is 11:05 a.m. on this Friday morning in Fort Lauderdale, and we are officially boarding Celebrity Reflection. One of the first guests on board. Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you, good.
So we'll come right on to the 5th deck here. We're gonna go to the room to drop our bag, but first, let's take a look in here in the main atrium, because there's no one here. We're literally one of the first people on board. I think they boarded the retreat guests, some of the premium access guests, and then us. But you can see right down into the atrium. You got the DJ down there ready to play some music as folks board. And yeah, it's empty. This is the emptiest we'll see it the whole cruise. But let's get up to the room to drop my bags off. You can come to your room, they were telling us, in the terminal and drop off your bags. They said don't be long though. Drop your bags and then kindly leave, because they are still cleaning the rooms. I am on the wrong side. And I found it 6164. My key card is here. They do keep those just right outside the door, so you can come to your room, grab these, but it does say that perfection is in progress. Grab your SeaPass card, drop your bags, and go enjoy the ship. So I'm just gonna drop my bags off here, and then we are gonna go explore the ship. Unlock the door. So this is a balcony stateroom here on deck 6. The first thing that we'll see is the bathroom right here. We'll do a real quick tour as we normally do when we first board a cruise ship. This is the bathroom. This is like the standard bathroom that you'll find on most all cruise ships. Does have a glass shower door, which is always nice and welcome. But then we will come into the room. A dated aesthetic in the room, certainly. Celebrity has renovated a lot of their ships. They call it the revolutionized. They have done a lot of these in the years before the pandemic, but in the years after the pandemic, unfortunately, they are kind of behind on updating their ships, and you can see that through the decor in the stateroom. So it's a little bit dated. Here's the bed, of course. These are two twin-size beds put together into what they call a king. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than a king. There's always some argument there about that. And then, of course, you do have the balcony. Now, because I am here on deck 6, this is an obstructed view, or it was sold as a 30% obstructed view, because we are here above the lifeboats, which you can see right down there. But you still have a great view. It's not that obstructed. You can certainly see over the lifeboats. Much better than not having a balcony, I will say that. Welcome, we are now officially on board the Celebrity Reflection. And this is my second time selling the Celebrity Reflection. The first time was actually last September. So I'm filming this video for transparency. Today is Friday, September 27th of 2024. And last September, it was like early September of 2023, I actually sailed this ship over in the Mediterranean on a 9-day cruise, and I stayed in the retreat. It was my first time in the retreat. So I have been on this ship before, and I really enjoyed the ship itself the last time I sailed it. But this cruise is gonna be a little bit different for a number of reasons. And this is basically why I booked this cruise and why I wanted to try it out, because this is essentially Celebrity's version of a booze cruise, right? And a booze cruise being like a short weekend cruise, like a 3-day weekend cruise, a quick getaway cruise. You know, typically what people would call a booze cruise, where you go and like party for the weekend and then you're done. So Celebrity introduced these weekend cruises, these short getaway cruises on Reflection. Typically they send their ships to the Mediterranean in the summertime. They kept Reflection here in Florida this year, and they've started sailing over to Perfect Day at CocoCay. Perfect Day at CocoCay is the private island in the Bahamas owned by Royal Caribbean Group. Of course, Celebrity is a part of Royal Caribbean Group, so they now stop at Perfect Day at CocoCay. When I saw that, I was like, I have to try one of them. I have to see what the vibe is like, because I feel like it's going to be different than your normal traditional week-long Celebrity cruise. That's what I want to show you. That's what I want to see. That's what kind of brought me on this cruise. We're going to see if this is truly a booze cruise and what Celebrity's version of a booze cruise looks like and how that differs from the normal Celebrity experience. So if you've not subscribed yet, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. It's gonna be a great cruise. I'm really excited to be back on Celebrity. It's been a while, but I'm really excited. I know a lot of my viewers have wanted to see me back on Celebrity, so here we are, and you're gonna see a lot more Celebrity content from me in the next few months, because I have a Celebrity cruise every month for the next 3 months. So a lot of celebrity content to come. So without further ado, let's get out and about and see what this cruise has in store for us. And is it really going to be a booze cruise? We'll find out. Starting here on deck 6, we're going to climb all the way up the atrium down below us, all the way up to the pool deck, all the way up on deck 14. And that is a real tree that we just passed down there, suspended up above the atrium. And here we go. Let's go check out the main resort pool deck here on deck 14. We also come to Ocean View Cafe. Of course, this is the buffet, the main buffet on board. We'll check that out in a bit. Just to show you, there are a couple pools here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hot tubs. Plenty of seating. You can see they even have the covered seating over here. They have a space here for some music, some live music, and of course, plenty of deck chairs. They also have a couple of little makeshift bars here, one here, and then one over there on the other side, where you can just walk up and get drinks. There's also the pool bar back there. 11:13, so not a lot of folks on board the ship yet, so that's why there's not a lot of people out here, but I guarantee you, within an hour or two, and we'll come back and check it out, this is gonna be completely packed. It's a warm day here. It's like 80 degrees here in South Florida, so this is gonna be so full of people ready to enjoy their celebrity cruise. You can sit here around the lawn club. They actually have these cabanas that you can rent. You can book these before your cruise on the cruise planner. You can actually book them for any day of your cruise. But also out here on the lawn, you see they have the big screen TV. They do have sporting events that they show. There's actually showing a soccer game now. Then you have the Lawn Club Grill restaurant right there. That is a specialty restaurant, but it's a very good restaurant. I dined here the last time I sailed on Reflection. It's kind of unique to the Solstice class. Reflection was the last ship in the Solstice class, and they premiered this restaurant here. All the others have, or maybe Silhouette also has the Lawn Club Grill. But I always enjoy this area back here because it is just so cool to have real grass on a cruise ship. But we're gonna head around and see the Sunset Bar and what that's like here on this embarkation day. The Sunset Bar, one of the more popular bars on the ship because it does look out over the aft of the ship, off the very back of the ship. So let's take the stairs down here from the Sunset Bar down to deck 14, where we will see some outdoor seating down here for the Ocean View Cafe. Again, that's the buffet. And then there's an entrance right here to the Ocean View. So you can actually bring your meal outside and sit here and have a good view off the aft of the ship, which is pretty amazing. But just inside here is the start of Ocean View Cafe. They have lemonade, they have fruit punch, water, and iced tea here. They also have coffee, decaf and regular here. They have a lot of gluten-free options here for desserts, which is nice. So if you do have special dietary restrictions or gluten-free, do know that they have options available for you. And then more desserts over here. They have some fruit over there on that side. But look how nicely displayed everything is. Everything looks so elegant. Here, all the beautiful desserts. There's a passion fruit cake right there. There's some fried chicken, some beef stew, and some chicken and chorizo paella. And of course they have pizza. And I think they always have pizza available here, unless it's late at night. I don't think they serve pizza past like 1 a.m. or something, but they do have pizza most of the time available here, as well as some pasta offerings. So here now on deck 5, back in the main atrium, Cafe Al Bacio. This is the coffee place here on the ship. It is packed with people already. This is a really good coffee location though. And of course, one of the best parts about Cafe Al Bacio is this display case right over here on the edge. But you can come up here and pick anything that's in this case, and it is included in the cost of your cruise. And today they have some chocolate chip cookies. Their cookies are really good, I'll say. They have a no sugar added chocolate chip cookie, a pear and Nutella tart. That looks good. Chocolate fudge cake. They have a pastry of the day, which is sugar-free, a lemon tartlet, a vegan cake, and some muffins and a pound cake down there. So a lot of options here. And again, these are all included. It's one of my favorite things about Celebrity is this case here that they have at Cafe Al Bacio. And across the atrium from that is Sushi on 5. This is the sushi restaurant. This is additional cost, so you'll have to pay more to dine here, but it is open on embarkation day. So here on deck 4, just off the main atrium, is the Martini Bar. The Martini Bar is a very lively bar on board, and it'll certainly be that way, especially in the evening as we sail. But a very popular location and an extension of it right here. And I did just complete my muster drill. My muster station is located, it's muster station B3, which is located in Celebrity Central. And that means we're officially on a cruise, because we can't be on a cruise until we do that muster drill. And Celebrity still does the e-muster, which is great. So basically how that works is they're going to prompt you in the app to watch a couple videos before you board the ship. That basically just shows you how to don your life jacket, and also is a sound of the horn. It basically tells you what the horn sounds like when there is an emergency, and then it tells you once you're on the ship to proceed to your muster station and get that done with. They scan your card, just make sure you know where the location is, and then you're done. So we're officially on a cruise. And I did purchase Wi-Fi before my cruise, so I thought we'd take a minute together and I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to join the Wi-Fi guest Celebrity Reflection, or just Wi-Fi guest reflection. So I did have to open a browser and go to login.com, and that's going to pop this up. I'm going to say access internet, and actually, since it's my first time using the internet this cruise, I'm going to have to fill out some information. You will have to put in an account number. The account number is going to be the number on your CPass card, your birthday, and then create a username, a PIN, and then confirm that PIN, and then you'll mark that you agree to the terms and conditions. And then once I've done that, it tells me I do have a premium full cruise plan. This is the one that I purchased before the cruise. I also have complimentary minutes because of my status with Celebrity. I do get free 90 minutes every cruise on Wi-Fi. And then you can also just buy it by the hour. You see a premium 1 hour connection is $17.47, 24 hours is $34.97, and in a voyage package, it just depends. But you can buy those all here on the day that you're cruising. And if you do have status with Celebrity such that you get a discount on the internet, you might want to check that, because if you're buying ahead of time via the cruise planner, whatever price, you know, a lot of times they'll have the flash sales or whatever, if it's 20% off or whatever, it's not going to stack that discount. But you can see here I've done the voyage package and done one for $89.97. And then it's given me my 30% discount because of my status with Celebrity, $26 savings. So it'd only be $62. You know what? I've overpaid, because I actually bought it at like a 15 or 20% discount on the website before the cruise, because it's always cheaper, or so I say. But just know that if you are doing your loyalty status, you're 30% off. So I'm elite with Celebrity, you get 30% off a Wi-Fi package. If you do that on the app once you board the ship, or you can actually call Celebrity ahead of time and get that 30% applied. And I should have done that, but this time I did not, so I will lose money because I wasn't as diligent as I should have been. It's also been interested as I've been sort of sitting here in the eye lounge for a bit while I got my Wi-Fi up and going and everything. I've been hearing some conversations of people getting on and off the elevators. It's funny to hear how many people questioning, like, where's the food? Like, how do you find food on this ship? Because pretty much right now, I think the only thing's open for lunch. There is, if you want to go to the main dining room, you do have to be either a, whatever the Premier Access that they're charging for now. They charge more money for that. It essentially gives you like priority boarding, but you do get to go to an Embarkation Day lunch. So that lunch is available for those folks that book that. Also, if you're in concierge class, they have a lunch available to those folks on Embarkation Day. Of course, if you're staying in the retreat, you can go to Lumine for lunch. As far as specialty restaurants, I did see that the Porch is open. The Porch is up on deck 15 near the Lawn Club. You have to pay more for that. Same with Raw 15, which we already saw. It is open for lunch. And then Ocean View Cafe is the free option where most people want to go, and that's all the way up, of course, on deck 14 in the aft of the ship, which we just saw the buffet. They also have the Mass Grill out by the pool up on deck 15 with hamburgers and hot dogs and things. But someone remarked, I heard them say, they're like, oh, this is definitely not Carnival. Like, where's the food? So again, definitely getting a good idea that there are a lot of first-time Celebrity cruisers on this ship, and they are bringing a lot of folks over from other cruise lines that typically sail with Carnival and Royal and folks like that. They're coming to sail on this 3-day cruise. And speaking of it being Embarkation Day, I just realized I haven't yet told you what the embarkation process was like. So I flew down this morning to Fort Lauderdale, and my flight got to the airport at like 8:30, so I was at the port by like 9:15. They don't actually open the doors and allow folks to start going up to check in until 10 o'clock. So if you are early, you are going to have to wait in line outside. However, they were not respecting boarding times at all. So my boarding time, the only one I was able to get, the earliest I was able to get was 12:30 p.m. And I showed up at 9:15 and was one of the first people to be able to walk inside of the terminal when it opened at 10 o'clock. So went in, did security and everything. I was actually the first person through the process. So I was the first person sat down waiting to board. Now they started boarding at 11 o'clock, like promptly at 11 o'clock. And I was, as you saw in the clip, the very first clip, one of the first clips in this video, I was walking on board at about 11:05. So been on now for about an hour and a half. Did want to say that the embarkation process is very simple. It was very quick. And speaking of embarkation, they were actually handing these informational pamphlets out, I guess we'll call it, this little flyer out to everybody that was in line before we even got inside the terminal. And it says, "Welcome to Celebrity Reflection." It's from Joshua Ward, the hotel director. And it's a lot of stuff about like, when will my room be ready? Do I need a CPAS card? Or why do I need a CPAS card? How you get on the Wi-Fi? What the mandatory safety briefing is? How you pay your onboard bill? Do I have a beverage package, and how can you upgrade it? A lot of questions in here. How do you book short excursions? When do the shops and casino open? How do you book your next cruise? They also have a map of all of the muster stations, and then they show on the back what your CPAS card is and all the information. And I say this because I've never received this from Celebrity before when I've been boarding one of their cruises, and I do think a lot of this information that they're giving here is really good information, but I think it's geared more toward first-time cruisers or people who are sailing with Celebrity for the very first time. So another indication that these cruises are certainly geared to, or at least the expectation is that they're going to have a lot of first-time Celebrity cruisers. I actually was supposed to have an ocean view, and I upgraded just a couple days before the cruise for like $140 or something to go from an ocean view to a balcony, which I didn't think was that bad. Because I just like waking up and being able to walk out here and getting views just like this one. Furniture here out on the balcony. There's 2 chairs here. There's 1 chair, 2 chair, and then there's a table there in the corner. The chairs look a little worse for wear. I mean, they look very worn, but still in decent shape, I guess. They're usable, right? All right, so it's now 1:30 here on Embarkation Day, and you know what? The pool deck is not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more crowded. Certainly, it's filling in some. But not nearly as crowded as I expected the pool area to be. There's a lot of open seats right down by the pool. A lot of open seats right here, up here on deck 15, right up above the main pool deck. And like we saw down on deck 14, they do have a bar, a little makeshift bar here on deck 15, right here along the walking track. I've not seen that before on Celebrity, but I think that's just exclusive to this shorter cruise, you know, maybe you know, a little bit more boozier of a cruise, right, we can say, I guess. And also here on deck 14 is the solarium, where they have a hot tub and then a pool over here. This is adults only during the day, so a little bit quieter in here than it was out on the main pool deck. Also the spa cafe in here. It's a good place to get breakfast, but they are closed right now. And I wanted to show you on the very forward of the ship here, we'll go past the elevator, the Sky Observation Lounge. And I always want to call this the Ocean View Lounge, but it's the Sky Observation Lounge. So I was just telling some folks about this. They're asking me what cool places should they see and come to. You definitely should check out the Sky Observation Lounge. It's one of my favorite places on the Solstice class ships. You can see we are in port with the Disney Wish. That's not the Wish. What is that? The Magic. The Disney Magic right over there. The only other cruise ship here in Port Everglades today. Also over there you can see, I'm going to give you a recommendation here. You can see right there about the center of the camera. That's as far as I can zoom, unfortunately. There's a Hilton hotel there. That is a great place to stay pre-cruise. I love to stay at that Hilton. I didn't stay there last night, of course, because I flew down this morning, but I have stayed there a couple of times before when sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, and it is right here at the port, you can see. So if you're looking for a good place to stay, I do recommend that. Not affiliated or sponsored or anything like that. Just wanted to give you a good recommendation. One other thing I wanted to mention is about upgrades, because I did go to guest services, as I sometimes do, but I was just curious if there were any upgrade opportunities, maybe to the retreat, who knows. But I did go down and ask a bit ago, and they did say that not until after they've set sail. So they did write down my room number, and they said if there would be any availability that they'll give me a call in my room and let me know. But that everything, of course, is at an upcharge. So typically, if you want to have an upgrade on Celebrity, you're going to want to do their Move Up program. That's how that works. You can go in and bid on an upgrade. So most of those upgrades that are allocated through the Move Up program. But do know, if you do get down to boarding day and you just like, man, I really want to upgrade, I really want to see what's available, just go to guest services and ask, because they will put you on the list and they will contact you once sail away has occurred of any rooms that were left open. Maybe people didn't show up. So the time is now 3:17. We're about to have a sail away party. We're going to go and check that out. But I wanted to show you first. I was resting in the room and couldn't really get the remote control to work. And I was like, why don't the buttons work? And then I flipped it over and, well, I just had to push the batteries in harder because they're taped in there. So yeah, that's not what I've come to expect from Celebrity. But okay, you'd think they could just get a new remote or put a new back on it, but I guess the Scotch tape will just have to do. And like I said, it is 3:17 and the captain just came on and gave his little talk. We're about 120 miles from Perfect at CocoCay. We'll be going at about an average speed of 10 knots sailing to get over there. We'll be leaving soon. It's kind of early, 3:30. I just feel like usually you set sail later, like at least 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. But leaving early, so I think they want to get out to sea and get this party started. So let's go see what the sail away party is like on this 3-day cruise here on the Reflection. After taking a look at the sail away party, I thought I would come over here and see where we're at with the actual sail away itself. They have pulled the gangways back. I can't see the ropes because we are on deck. We're literally on the highest deck. We're on deck 15. We are way up here. You can see. You can also see it's getting kind of rainy here in Fort Lauderdale, so I kind of hope we leave soon and get avoid some of this rain. Looks like these showers are kind of headed this way. And about the time I said that and finished up that clip, the horn blew and we started moving. So we are now headed out of Port Everglades, or will soon be headed out of Port Everglades, but we are moving away from the dock now. You can see the Disney, what do we say that was, the Disney Magic? It's still in port over there. And you can see the pilot boat there in front of us about to take us out to sea. And the rain is just picking up in intensity. It's coming. It's probably going to spoil our fun in just a second. But we are headed away from Port Everglades now, making our way out to sea on our way to Perfect Day at CocoCay. So because it's raining, we'll head into Sky Observation Lounge. I suspect that it's going to be packed. Yeah, it's pretty packed. They were encouraging folks to come up here as one of the like sail away locations. So I think the secret's out now about the Sky Observation Lounge and what a great place it is to watch a sail away. And it looks like it's definitely raining harder out now. So I'm glad we made the choice to come inside. Yeah, it's really raining. You can't even see. Take you up here so you can see in the out the window up here. You can't even see out ahead of us. See what a difference just a few minutes has made for me to go from 15 to 14. It's pouring down rain. And I came back to my room and you can really see it's a downpour out there now. So just unfortunate timing. Just so happened to be happening right at sail away. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. A huge rainstorm just come upon us right at sail away, you know, especially after it's been so pleasant all day. But I am taking a time lapse. You can see there my Insta360 camera there. Taking a time lapse, so I'll insert that time lapse here. You can see the sail away here out of Port Everglades. So you know how earlier I was talking about upgrades, and I did go ask them if there was any upgrade opportunity. They did call me in my stateroom and were like, hey, we do have an upgrade. It's not really an upgrade. It's just a different balcony on a higher floor and it's not obstructed. So let's check out this new room because it's a new room. It's got a new couch. Look at this couch. It looks a lot better than the other one. Not nearly as worn. And I think the whole room actually looks in a little bit better condition than the other room. So I moved up to the 8th floor, moved up 2 decks. So there's the closet. Yeah, I feel this room has better vibes for sure. It just doesn't feel as worn as the other one. The bed and everything, all the decor is pretty much the same except for the couch, which has been replaced from that red couch that we saw that was kind of worn in the other room. Like I said, though, this is higher up on the ship. We're now on the 8th floor, still on the same side of the ship and everything. And we don't have the obstruction of the lifeboats. So you see we were down there looking over the lifeboats and now we're up here. Just sort of looking out over the ocean. So the moral of the story here is if you ever are curious at all about an upgrade, if you ever think maybe I just want to move floors or maybe I just want a better placement of room, I don't want an obstruction in my room, just always ask. Make sure you go to guest services as soon as you board the ship. They can put your name on that list. There were several other people down there too that they had called for various upgrades. So it does work. And I think someone was getting upgraded to a balcony from like either an inside or ocean view for $100 per person. So you can get upgrades a lot cheaper. So that's my pro tip for you. Go to guest services when you board. They'll put your name, room number on a list. And then they actually just called my room phone and said, hey, we have an upgrade for you. If you want to do the switch, we can. And I was like, let's do it. And now I'm higher up in a better room than what I was in before. And for free. They didn't charge me anything since I went from a balcony to a balcony. It's just sort of a room placement, you know, put me in a different location higher up on the ship, no additional cost. So thank you, Celebrity. That's awesome, and I'm really excited about that. So I wanted to just take a minute to talk about the entertainment, because there is a lot going on around the ship tonight, and I think a lot planned for the entire cruise. Just 3 days, but I think they're packing a lot of entertainment into the 3 days. You can see tonight they are doing a main show, a main theater production show, Elysium. That's at 7 and 9 o'clock. They're also having a totally 80s party in the grand foyer at 8 p.m. And then they're having silent disco tonight too. They're also having late night comedy, which I love. So I'm going to try to make it to Elysium and then also the comedy and check those out. Those are the two that I wanted to do tonight. But a lot going on. I think that this is a lot of entertainment, a lot of activities for one night. I don't think you normally see this much on a typical Celebrity cruise. Well, good evening. It is now later. It is almost 9 o'clock. I went to Elysium and saw that. I've actually seen that show before. I'll put in a couple clips here. It's a pretty good show. I mean, it's a stage production show, you know. I've seen it before. I think when I sailed on Reflection last year, I think that was a show that they had then. And then after that, I was going to go to dinner in the main dining room, but I was like, I'm going to go see what's on Ocean View. And I always make this mistake, y'all. Or not really a mistake, but, you know, I'm like, I'm going to go see what's on Ocean View. And then I end up thinking like, oh, that looks good, I'm going to try it. And then I end up eating dinner in Ocean View, which is what I did tonight. Don't have any clips of that, but the food was pretty good in there. Won't be going to the main dining room. I am going to try to stay up until the 10:15 late night comedy. I do want to go to that. But I'm getting very tired because I woke up early this morning to fly down to Fort Lauderdale for this cruise. I did want to get my thoughts on this cruise though. I feel like the cruise is going very well so far. Not had any issues. It's the same Celebrity service, the same Celebrity food, the same Celebrity ship. Everything that you would expect, but there are things done different. I've tried to highlight those as we've gone throughout the day. And like I've said, I think they're just trying to attract new sailors in general, and also new sailors to Celebrity, people who have sailed other lines before and now would be attracted by a weekend cruise. I think a lot of people are attracted by weekend cruises because, especially if you live in like South Florida or anywhere in Florida, you know, you can come down to port on a Friday and come back on Monday and go back to work. So it really, I think, makes cruising accessible to a lot more people when it's a weekend cruise. So I think that's what Celebrity's trying to do. They're trying to attract a lot more people to the brand. I think that's why we saw a lot of the pop-up bars around the pool deck. Some people were mentioning to me that they also are like giving out free suntan lotion, free sunscreen on the pool deck. They're handing out those flyers, you know, of like sort of first cruise, like how do I do this, how do I do that, just the things that you need to know about Celebrity. And they're also really pushing like entertainment and parties, and I think they're just doing that to compete with a lot of the other cruise lines which do that. You know, they offer kind of the party vibe on these weekend cruises. So I wouldn't say necessarily that this is a booze cruise. I think this is just Celebrity trying to reach out and get new cruisers, be it, again, the first-time cruisers, first time ever, or first-time cruisers to Celebrity. I think they're trying to get a lot of first-time cruisers on their ships and show them how good the brand is. And hey, also while you're here, we have these great, you know, Ed Sheery ships, and we go to the Mediterranean, and we sail all around the world, and why don't you book a cruise on one of our other ships? I think that's what they're trying to do. So not necessarily a booze cruise, but it does feel definitely more like a typical like 3-day cruise that you would go on Carnival or Royal Caribbean or any of the other mainstream, and less like a typical Celebrity cruise. And the demographic is completely different on here. I've never seen so many young people. It seems like this cruise is, I would say, 80% people under the age of 65. We'll see how long this continues. These perfect day sailings are going to continue here on Reflection, I think, for about another month, and then I think another, maybe Silhouette takes over, but they're going to continue. They're going to keep doing these. I think they've sold really well for Celebrity, and from what I've heard, this ship, Reflection, is making more money right now than any other Celebrity ship. Like, this is their money maker, doing these 3-day and 4-day cruises to Perfect Day, to the Bahamas, to try to get that new clientele, to try to get those new guests booking more cruises on their ships. They're making the most money with the ship. And because of that, they brought the best of the best. Luigi, if you're familiar with Celebrity Cruises, Luigi is the cruise director. He was previously on Beyond. I think he was on Ascent when it first came out too, if I'm not mistaken. I think I sailed Ascent with him. So he's one of the best of the best. So they're putting the best of the best of their people on the ship because they're showing off with the ship in these short cruises. So that's all I have to say. It's not a booze cruise per se. They're not like pushing drinks on you like a lot of the cruise lines do. but it is more of a party. It is more poised for party than other celebrity cruises, I will say that. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed this embarkation day with me. Like I said, got more content coming. We're going to be in CocoCay tomorrow. It's going to be featuring some exciting stuff over there. I'm going to be going to the Coco Beach Club for the very first time, and I can't wait to do that. So I'm going to tell you all about that and see if it's worth it and tell you what I paid and all that. So make sure you come back. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.